Hey everyone, it's Melissa Hurt of Integrative Studio here with another video to help you be clear, productive, and influential. I'm here offering a yoga practice today. This is yoga to help with negative self-talk. We've got to get to the root of it, and honestly, a yoga practice on the mat is the best way to get to the heart and to be honest with yourself on how you talk to yourself. If we want to be kind to others and put our best into the world, we've got to do that for ourselves too. Because in that way, we are in a sense of congruence between our thoughts, words, and actions, inside and out. And that is what will bring you to a state of peace. So we're going to do a yoga practice today. This is all going to stay down low. We're not going to be standing. And I encourage you to explore this practice, to realize how you're talking to yourself as you move through the practice. So let's do it. We're going to start in tabletop position. So have your knees under your hips, your hands under your shoulders, and just find a nice long spine. Let the crown of the head be in alignment with your tailbone. And we're just going to arch the back like a cat, and then take a breath in. Let the breastbone get nice and long in cow pose, and do that a few times. Just starting to warm up the spine. So right off the bat, if you find yourself impatient or critical or judgy, just be with it. Know that this preparatory phase is what you need to get ready for what's to come. So does your negative self-talk tend to be critical of how you initiate a process? If it's going off right now, then just be kind and say, no, I'm here right now, and right now I'm moving my spine in cat and cow so I can be safe. Come back to that neutral table, and we're gonna bring one shoulder and one hip closer together, and then find the opposite. Bring the other hip, other shoulder together. So now we're doing side bends. Shortening one side of the spine while lengthening the other. Do one more. And then from here, we're gonna thread the needle. So lift up one arm, find a twist, thread the needle, come onto your shoulder. You just breathe into the twist. And then press into that to release. Back up high. Back to table. And we'll just do that one time for the other side. Threading the needle to find your twist. Just breathe into it. And then releasing that twist back up and back into table. Speaking of table, mine's in the way for this next pose, so I'm going to back it up a little bit, and we're going to come into a balance pose. Now, balance poses sure tend to bring out some negative self-talk if you're critical of yourself. So bring out your left leg, and then bring out your right arm, and just feel the balance. Now, if you're wibble wobble, don't be critical. Everybody is. Just take a breath here, reaching through your arm and your leg, and then take it back down. Change sides. Find the balance. And can you find balance in how you talk to yourself? Sure, you can be honest. If you're new in a process, be honest about it, but also be kind and generous about your capacity to learn the process. Let's do one more bird dog. Feeling this strengthening of the core with this balance as we lift up two legs of our table. Good, and then from here, we're gonna flip our toes and come into a downward facing dog. You can pedal your heels up and down. You don't have to have your heels touching. You can keep your knees bent even. I just want you to lengthen the spine and start to stretch the backs of the legs. Feel your breath moving in and out of the belly and the back. And then we're gonna rock forward and come into a plank. Now, in plank pose, keep your strength, rounding the upper back as if you were in cat pose. And if this is too much for you, just bring your knees down, no biggie. So knees up for full plank, knees down for half plank, which is still getting some core strength. So breathe here. You can even go in between the full plank and a half plank. Keep breathing, smile, and let's come back into our down dog. All right, now from this down dog, we're gonna play a little bit with core strengthening, but also with balance a little bit more. So let's come onto our knees in a kneeling plank, and I'm gonna take my right shoulder blade and really let it roll down the back of my ribs as I open up, and I'm setting up for a modified side plank. So I'm long in the sides of my body. If you want to do a full plank, just take your leg out long, bring the arm out. Now my arm is shaking right now. It's all good. I'm not critical of it because I know that means that it's getting stronger. So how is your self-talk happening now? Just have fun with it. Say, hey, we're on a playground right now and we're checking out different equipment. Some of it's different, some of it's familiar, it's all good. Bring that knee down. We're gonna change sides. So you're gonna see the back of me here. Shoulder blade slides down the back ribs, lifting up the hips along the sides. I can release that bottom knee, so I'm a straight leg, side plank, and release this arm up. Once again, my arm is shaking because I know I'm getting stronger. It's all good. Keep breathing. Good. Let's bring that down. Come back into table pose. And let's do a downward facing dog. Pressing up the hips up and back, lengthening the spine. And we're going to bring the right foot forward. Let the left knee come down. Toenails touch the mat. We're in a lunge. From this lunge, just breathe. Let your shoulders rest down. Again, be kind to yourself. We're halfway through the practice. Stay with it. Examine how you're talking to yourself right now. How are you talking about the process right now? And here we're going to bring the hands onto the thighs, still in the lunge. And just breathe here. Now we're going to keep the left hand on the right thigh. Let the right hand come behind for a little bit of a twist. It's a twist and a side bend. And then release that. We're going to bring the hands back down, flip the toes back into the runner's lunge to come back into downward facing dog. Now we're going to bring the left foot forward. Runner's lunge to then bring the knee down, let the toenails touch the mat. Just stay here for a moment with me. Now, we've been playing with both sides of the body, the left and the right side of the body. One might be tighter than the other. Have you noticed that? I hope you have not been entertaining a story about why that is. Just take it for what it is. And have compassion for yourself. Say, ooh, your right hip is tight. I'm going to take good care of you. I'm going to stay in this lunge a little bit more. Maybe do this again later today to help you release. All right, let's bring the hands on the thighs, the front thigh. Keep breathing here. Now we're going to find our twist. Keep the right hand on the left thigh. Left hand comes behind. Just breathe. Release that down. Come back into your down dog. Final down dog. Just to get neutral in the hips. And then we're gonna come back into table to then sit together with the legs out long. We're gonna just do one more seated pose before we do a little bit of a rest. So I want you to take your right leg and keep it long, and take your left knee on top. So you're gonna bend the leg and sit up nice and tall, and just breathe here. Yes, your hip is getting a bit of an opening here. Now we're gonna take the arms out like a T. Bring up your right arm, and then bring your left shoulder to roll in and place the hand behind you. I'm just bending the elbow. The back of my hand is touching the bottom of my ponytail, but it's against my back. Then I'm gonna bend the top elbow and just place my hand at the back of my skull or the back of my neck. So I'm opening my shoulders. Keeping a nice tall spine, just breathe here. Now shoulders tend to be tight. Be kind to yourself about it. No criticism here. And I hope that what you're noticing in this yoga practice is that you have a multitude of ways of exploring yourself in the world. And we've done it through yoga poses. We've done table pose, bird dog pose, planks, lunges, downward facing dogs. They're all different. And maybe one felt easier than the other, and that's cool. Maybe one was more challenging than the other. Maybe you had fun with the challenge. That's great. When you can embrace a sense of wonder and curiosity about your experience, you will be challenging that self-talk and opening up into a positive growth mindset. All right, we're going to change sides. So let's release the arms slowly. Just roll the shoulders back. Change legs. So cross your right leg on top of your left. Just sit here for a moment. Again, different hip is going to be a different experience. Just be open to your experience moment to moment. Sitting up nice and tall, we'll bring the arms out like a T. You're going to bring your left arm up, bend up the elbow and roll in the right shoulder. Bend it, place the back of the hand at your back wherever it goes, and just breathe here. Opening the shoulders here, nice tall spine, still floating through the crown of the head. Breathing into your belly and your sides. Maybe smile. It's always nice. Just do a couple more breaths here. Good. Releasing those arms slowly. Just roll them out. Let the legs come out in staff pose. And then lastly, we're just going to end in a simple cross-leg position. Easy pose. And just start to do some easy cat-cows. We did this in table, but now we're doing it in easy pose, Sukhasana. Just arching and tucking the spine. Let's take the hand out to the side, get a little side bend here. And then do the other side. Moving slowly but playfully, connected with the moment, with yourself. Get back up and just find an easy twist. Easy twist. And then just breathe. Close your eyes with me or find a soft gaze. And I want you to kind of recall in your mind everything that you just did for the past 10 or 11 minutes. However long this practice was. You moved your spine in 6 different ways. You moved your shoulders, you opened your hips, you got core strength. Those are all amazing things. Those are all things that will help you grow as a person. Because if you feel well, you do well. So I want you to credit yourself for that to start. And any kind of self-talk that may have come up during your practice, I want you to do this practice again and challenge that self-talk in the moment. And say, no, I'm growing, actually. My arm was shaking in side plank, and I know how the body works, and that means that these muscles are getting stronger. That's awesome. So I'm gonna accept that and be like, this was great. And there's nothing wrong with me because my arm shook. So I hope that this short practice was a good entryway into challenging your self-talk so that you can have positive self-talk and no more negative self-talk. Because I want you to feel clear, productive, and influential in all ways. And that starts with an alignment of your thoughts, words, and actions to move towards positivity and your optimal wellness. Leave a comment below on how this practice felt for you. Be sure to subscribe to my channel so you can be first in line to get my videos when they release on how to be clear, productive, and influential.